Hey guys, this will be a video on all the free pair inserts. So for the front right slot, R, U prime, R prime. When you're trying to orient edges, R prime, F, or F prime. Either thumb or index for the last move, depending on the situation. And for the lefty slot, same thing, L prime, U, L. And when you're trying to orient edges, L, F prime, L prime, F. And do right index for the last move only. Now, when you're trying to do solve the back right, R prime, U, R. Don't regrip like that, just do push you or drag you. Now, when you're trying to orient edges from the back slots, you can do R, B prime, L prime, B, or you can do wide R, F, R, wide F prime, U prime, F. I find the wide F out faster. You may find doing the B move out faster, but for the back right slot, I do find the wide F out faster. For the lefty slots, same thing. L, U prime, L prime. When you're just inserting it, either drag or push. Do not regrip. And when you're trying to orient edges for the last layer, you can do. I wouldn't recommend doing the wide F insert. It's kind of bad for the back left slot, so just do L prime, B, L, B prime. And I find this works a lot better for the back left than it does for back right. And that was all for when the edge is oriented. When the edge isn't oriented, either just rotate either way, or you can do F prime, U, F. I think the finger tricks aren't that bad. Can be done pretty quickly, definitely faster than rotating, but if you don't like the finger tricks, rotating honestly isn't that bad. Now, I would not recommend using this if you have, let's say, this pair, and you need to insert these. So instead of doing something like that and then rotating, just do rotation into that and then go straight into that, and it will be a lot smoother. Can see. But if it was last slot, then obviously doing that would be slightly better. For the lefty slot, when you're trying to orient edges, F, R prime, F prime, R, it's called a hedge. But when you're not orienting edges, this is definitely better. For the lefty slot, same thing applies, except now the finger tricks are slightly better. F, U prime, F prime. Same thing applies. If you're solving a pair that requires a rotation anyways, then just rotate beforehand. It's going to make it a lot more smooth, as you can see, compared to that. And when you're trying to orient edges, F prime, L, F, L prime. Lefty hedge, and the finger tricks are quite nice, but only use it when you're trying to orient edges. Now for the back, when you have it from here, you can do wide R prime, U prime, or U, M prime. Pretty well known. I'd recommend using this the most. Do a lefty M prime. Like what I just do. Yeah, do lefty M prime. Pretty fast. As an alternative, you can do back hedge, F prime, wide F prime, U, wide F, R prime. I personally don't use this a lot, only for certain cases, since doing this algorithm is a lot smoother and safer. And the last insert you can use is wide F, R prime, wide F prime, which you can finger trick like that. But when you have it from here, normally I just do that, unless all the edges are oriented, in which case I would do U with my middle finger, and then wide F, R prime, wide F prime, like that. Like so. And same thing applies when you need to rotate anyways. don't do, well, when you need to rotate anyways, just rotate beforehand. Don't try something like that and then do this pair with a rotation. It's not going to be as fast as just rotating beforehand. Same thing applies to the back left slot. Now for the back left, normally I'd only use this RB water prime B prime R is what I'd like to think of it. Here I would do righty M prime, makes the Alex smoother. So and I wouldn't just ignore back hedge, it's really bad. Don't do back hedge, but the wide F insert from the left slot is quite nice, so wide F prime L at wide F. And I pretty much only use this if it was over here, if all the edges are oriented. But if it was over here and if it was already over here, then no matter what, I'd use this because the finger tricks are pretty nice. But when you have it from here, normally just do that, unless all the edges are oriented, in which case I just do a middle U into that. Now that's all, and same thing applies to this. If you're gonna rotate, then just rotate beforehand. Don't do any of the fancy inserts and then rotate after. It's not gonna be faster. And for the split pair inserts, or your prime, pretty simple. I would basically never recommend orienting edges, so same slot. All the slots do not orient edges when you have a split pair, because it's not going to be faster. Like people use some stupid stuff like that, and there's no way it's going to be faster than just doing or your prime into a dot, because dots are pretty fast. My storage just ran out. Here I am again. So when you have an insert, split pair insert, going to the front right, and the edge isn't oriented, you can do F prime, U prime, F. Same thing apply about rotations. If you need to rotate for the next pair, then just rotate beforehand and do something like, let's say this is going to be the next pair, just do that. I've already emphasized this enough. Just rotate before, like so, and it will be faster. For the lefty slot, same thing applies, however the finger tricks are different, so F, U, F prime, like so, pushing the U. And same thing applies about rotations. Don't do that, and instead just rotate and then go into the next pair like so. And when you have it from the back angles, just do wide F or wide F prime, and rotation thing applies. Just rotate beforehand, don't regrip, and yeah, same thing applies to the back left, don't regrip, and just rotate beforehand if you're going to rotate at all. So yeah, that's all. Thank you for watching.